And let's get Crafty by my Crafty closet. And look.
Hi guys, and welcome to the Crafty Closet. This is a real closet in my real house where I really craft out of. I created this video to help you guys navigate the Cricut world, and I'm hoping to save you guys some time, energy, and most of all, money. We're going to go over a few things just to show you what you do and don't need when you first get your Cricut. So these are the must-haves and the maybe not so much. So let's get into it. The first thing you're going to need is a good weeder. If you don't have a weeder, you won't be able to do any type of vinyl projects. I have two weeders. They're both the same. They're both made the same. As you can see, they both look the same, down to the way they're designed. The only difference in these weeders is the name. One is a Cricut, and the other one is a DIY. The DIY is the one I bought first, which I bought off of Amazon, and it actually came in a little tool kit, which was great because it was a great first starter kit. Because in this kit, it actually has some other things you will absolutely need when you first start out with your Cricut. The reason I have two is simple. I thought I lost my original weeder, so I had to run out and buy a new weeder because I was in the middle of a project. And lo and behold, you know what they say. You lose it, you find it, and then now I have two. Definitely need a weeder. I don't think it matters which weeder you buy. They are both the same. Just make sure you have a good weeder to weed your project. Otherwise, you won't be able to use it. Taking us to our next must-have is going to be your crafting scissors. These crafting scissors also came with my DIY weeder, and you're going to have crafting scissors. Otherwise, you won't be able to cut the small projects you might be working on. And also, you're going to need a scraper. Again, this scraper came with my DIY set. It was a little tool set. It had all of the essentials I needed to start with my design in my Cricut. So this would be a really good thing for you guys to try and get. If you can get it, it's a DIY. I got it off of Amazon. It comes with a lot of little tools you'll need when you get started first off in your Cricut space. Don't forget, you're going to need these. Next, you're going to need a ruler. A ruler is good to have because it'll help you measure out your projects. So a ruler, get you a little ruler, regular little 12-inch ruler. It'll work for you. Next, you're going to need your mats. Now, you won't be able to do any type of project on your Cricut without your Cricut mats. These mats come in 3 different colors, and there's a reason for that. The first color is your green, and this is your standard grip mat. This is the mat you'll probably be using 98% of the time, depending on what projects you want to work on, especially if they're vinyl projects. You won't be able to use your machine without having a mat. So definitely make sure you get your green mat, which is your standard mat. And then secondly, you can get your blue mat, which is your light grip mat. Light grip mats are great for card projects and lightly cut things. So you're going to need this if you're going to be doing card projects. So again, you get the blue mat, which is the light grip, and the green mat, which is the strong grip. Thirdly, you can use the purple mat. Now the purple mat is going to be if you have the maker. I don't have a maker. I have a Cricut Explorer, so I don't need the purple mat. And the purple mat is a strong grip mat. It's a strong grip mat because the maker can cut things that the Explorer Air 2 just can't. It can cut the leather. It can cut basswood. It can cut a lot of thicker projects you may want to do. So if you have the maker, make sure you get your purple strong grip mat. So again, guys, you're going to need your mats, or you won't be able to Cricut and design. Next, you're going to need vinyl. You won't be able to do your vinyl projects without vinyl. So, this is the first vinyl. This is a removable vinyl. And it's a removable vinyl because when you first start out, you may not know what you're actually trying to do, and you're just going to be playing around with your machine. So this is a good vinyl to have because if you put it on your project and you just don't like the way it looks, you can take it right off and you can start all over. So definitely get you some removable vinyl when you're first starting out, so you will have something to use when you are starting out and designing your projects, whatever your project may be. You're also going to need your transfer tape. Transfer tape and vinyl work hand in hand. You need both of these because you're going to have to transfer your project onto the vinyl, and the vinyl is then going to transfer on whatever surface you're going to be using. So if you're going to be using a wood surface or a wood project, or any type of project that needs to be transferred, hence the name transfer tape, you're going to need to definitely make sure you have your transfer tape on hand. And when I say your project, I mean little small wood projects. I think if you get little pieces of wood from, let's say, Michael's or wherever your craft store you may use, you should also start out with a couple of these. These will help you get familiar with your machine and using it and transferring things onto different surfaces. So that's where the transfer tape comes in, and also your removable vinyl. So these are great things to have. You get you a couple of pieces, pick them up. They're really inexpensive. I think I paid 60 cents for this, and this was like 79 cents. So you should definitely get you a couple of wood pieces just so you'll have stuff to work on. And they're really cheap and inexpensive, and they're easy because you'll be able to do all kinds of things with them. Like this. This was plain, and then it turned out to this. Next, if you want to get into the iron-on and the heat transfer vinyl, because I'm not sure what you bought your machine for, but if that's the route you're going, then you're going to need iron-on vinyl. You won't be able to do any of the neat iron-on projects, like this one, if you don't have iron-on vinyl. So if you want to make sure you have iron-on vinyl, this is the Cricut brand iron-on vinyl, and this is the everyday iron-on vinyl. I like it. I use iron-on vinyl often because I do a lot of t-shirts and shirts. So this is a very good one to get. Just make sure you get whatever colors you'll need. Again, this is the iron-on Cricut brand. You can use it, so then you'll be able to make really neat shirts like this. But you won't be able to do it if you don't have iron-on, of course. So don't forget to get the iron-on vinyl. Now, when we move into the iron-on vinyl world, you're going to need a heat press. Now, when I first started, I used my home iron, and it just didn't work for me. I wasted a lot of money on shirts. I wasted a lot of money on vinyl, and I realized that after some research, irons only give you a certain amount of heat in the middle of the iron. So if you have an iron, the heat is just going to be centered in the middle of the iron, and a lot of heat transfer vinyl and iron-on vinyl projects require a certain heat temperature. So you're going to need that heat temperature to be able to transfer your project onto your shirt very clearly, very evenly, and with no flaws. So that's when the heat press comes in. Now, is a Cricut heat press a must-have? I absolutely think it's a must-have if you plan on doing any type of iron-on vinyl project. Whether you're ironing onto a shirt, whether you're pressing onto a piece of wood, whether you're pressing it onto anything, you won't be able to do it without the actual heat transfer machine. And by that, you're going to need the mini. Is a great starter only because it will help you do a lot of small projects. I really like this little mini iron-on, and like I said, it looks just like an iron, and like I said earlier, with a regular household iron, it only centers around here, the hot heat. With the heat press, the entire metal is heated to whatever temperature you may need. And this comes with really great instructions. A heat press guide. It'll tell you whatever you're pressing, what material it is, exactly what you'll need the temperature to be, and it's a really cute machine. It cuts on and off in a snap. I really like this. I think it's a must-have if you're going to be doing any type of heat transfer vinyl, and it's also great for small projects. I was able to make this cute little sign with my mini heat press, because the mini heat press gets into the small places and it just makes it so much easier to work with as opposed to a larger heat press. Now, I do have a larger heat press. I also have a heat press machine because I've graduated into the big boy toys, as they call them. But this is definitely one that you'll need and you should get. Now, I also have the 9x9 heat press. Is this a must-have when you're first starting out? I don't know if it's a have or maybe. Again, if you bought your machine with the intent purpose of doing shirts and t-shirts and you want your shirts to look nice, then yes, this is a must-have. I would say you should actually buy this. If you're not sure where you're going to go with your designs, then you don't need it at the time. Until you think you're ready to use the heat press settings and the heat press world, then it will make sense to buy this. So you can put this in the middle category. If it's what you're looking for and the reason why you bought your machine, then absolutely it's a must. If it's not, then it can go on the I'll revisit that later when I get more comfortable with my machine. This is the 9x9 Cricut heat press. Works like a charm. This is what I used when I started out after I moved on from the little machine to this one when I was making my t-shirts. So this is a great machine to have. And lastly, you guys are going to need a really good vinyl cutter. This is a vinyl cutter. This is a vinyl cutter I got off of Amazon. Works like a charm. You can measure out the amount of vinyl you need so you won't waste vinyl. When I first started out, I was wasting a lot of vinyl because I was just cutting it, didn't have a vinyl cutter, and it wound up being a lot of trash, excess vinyl I didn't use. So get you guys a good vinyl cutter. It's really easy and simple. It slices like butter straight across, and it'll make your life a lot easier. So definitely I would say get your vinyl cutter. I got this one off of Amazon. I think it was maybe $9. Again, cheap and expensive, but you're definitely going to need it. I'll leave a link below to show you guys where I got a lot of my products from. And again, they're all, to me, the essentials of what you probably should be using when you first get your machine. These are my things. You don't have to follow them all, but if you need to follow one thing that you absolutely have to have, don't forget your mats and don't forget your leaders. I'm A with I'm Kind of Crafty Designs for the Crafty Closet. Don't forget to subscribe, like this video, drop a comment, let me know what you like, what you didn't like, what you think I should do more of. Everything you see in this closet, I made, and I can show you guys how to make all of these projects too. So I'll see you next week. I'll be dropping more videos once a week. We'll do a lot of DIY, easy, budget-friendly things, and I'm hoping you guys will join me for the ride. Stay tuned.